close your eyes.
The fastest, most unpredictable track in the NASCAR schedule. Tonight, these drivers take their chance for a win at Talladega. As Pete says in chat, it's Dega, baby. I'm excited for tonight. One of my favorite tracks of all to race at. Pete, how you doing tonight?
Eliza, I am pumped watching all 35 plus of these Chicken Bake iRacing Cup Series drivers mixing it up during this hour-long practice. Been a whole lot of fun. These guys are ready to go, so am I. There's some early favorites out there. There's a whole lot of nice-looking cars. I'm ready to roll. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're at Talladega. It's nice out. These guys are just ready to go. We have around 35 drivers, and there's a lot to talk about with the handling of this car. It's Talladega. You know it's going to be intense. It's going to be fast. You're going to have to be full throttle all the way through as far as your mind goes. You have to be fully aware and just make sure you're paying attention. I mean, anything can change at any second. So these guys are getting ready to go to qualifying. But let's talk about these drivers that we've seen previous wins at Super Speedway. We have Jimmy Cocker. I mean, he won the first Daytona for SnB in our first season. We had Harmon win at Daytona and Tom, who won at Daytona. Now, the only one that is a two-time winner at Super Speedways is going to be Tom Flitcroft. He has won 2 Daytona races. Jose has won Talladega, and Micah has won Talladega. So those other guys have 1 wins for themselves. So I'm kind of curious, Pete, do you think we're going to see a repeat winner tonight, or we're going to see somebody new?
I think we're going to see somebody new, and it's going to be the guy that did not get the Super Speedway quadfecta, if there is such a word, Eliza, and that's the one and only Tom Flitcroft. He won all 3 of 4 Super Speedway races last year. This one right here got away. You just mentioned that Jose Ruiz knocked it out of the park last year. Well, he took that from the 8 of Tom Flitcroft. Tom wants that one back. He's bad fast at these kind of races. It just seems like it fits in his wheelhouse. I got old Tom to come across the start stripe and win what he missed out on last year. Who you got?
Man, I knew you were going to ask that, and I have such a hard time picking, especially at Talladega, because anything is possible. Anyone can win it. I hope to see FTR driver Jose win another one here, so I would be happy to see that. I know that he has won a Super Speedway already. We'll see. We have Jackson Glenn Austin, who has been super fast. I think we could see something great from him. So we'll see what happens, but we have a lot of strong showers out there. Jimmy Cocker, he's another one that I think has a really great shot, but a lot of drivers, yeah, anyone can win it tonight, Pete.
Oh, absolutely. As Dale Sr. said a long time ago, it's like a game of chess at very, very high speeds. I mean, high speed, high draft, a lot of big pushes. A lot of people say that these cars are tanks. They can take a knock in the back and keep on going. I have a feeling we're going to see some pretty strong shots to the bumpers. Hopefully they can hold on to them, though.
Yeah, you know, let's talk about the car handling. Side draft tonight is going to be a huge thing. If you are side drafting these guys from the right side, you are going to absolutely slow down that lane. So that's something that these drivers are going to have to watch. You're going to see a lot of guys getting down real low to that low side and that whole line, trying to slow them down and gain the momentum to pass them up. And more than likely, it will work. We also have some of these drivers, a 2-car tandem, will outright pull away from the 3rd car behind them. So you're going to see some of these guys struggle. If there's 3 cars in a line, that last guy is really going to struggle to hold on to that draft. And I'm thinking tonight, Pete, those drivers, from what I hear from a few drivers, are saying that a pack of 8 is going to be almost as many as you want to have the fastest group. Any more than that is going to slow your group down. So we'll see what happens with that. But already quite a few times on the board, Pete, and they are super close.
Yeah, how about that? Right now on top of the board, the one and only John Honeycutt in that Team FTR number 50, and his teammate Jordan McGraw right behind him, and then the 12 of Burgess. These plate tracks usually where we start to see where anybody can get on up there, anybody can lead laps, anybody can take the pole. It's all about how well you can hold a very, very steady line through all of these corners, as well as the front stretch, if it's straight at all, with the minor bumps that are down there. If you can hold a steady line, keep it painted on that yellow, as we used to say back in the heat days, you can be pretty quick around this place.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely going to be a fun one tonight. I think we're going to see some chaos towards the end of the race. This just goes along with the territory here, but I want to give a quick shout out to you guys in chat. We have Chloe, we have Savage, we have Pete out in chat. He is also in the booth. We have RC Action, Kerblam. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. And thank you for the nice compliment. It's always great to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. Mikey, Racer Wreck, you guys are awesome. Mike, I'm excited about Chase's win yesterday. Absolutely. And he did it in the orange and black Hooters car. It doesn't get any better than that. So I'm just pumped all around. I'm pumped for tonight. I was pumped yesterday. But these guys, qualifying is over, Pete. We're getting ready to start a race.
Absolutely. Looks like it's going to be the one and only John Honeycutt and Mr. Berg in that 93, going to be on the front row. They are starting in the best possible shot. Last week, we saw chaos break out before we even got to turn 1. Let's go through the grid and see who else is up there.
Here we go for the grid at Talladega Superspeedway. John Honeycutt is going to start on pole in that 50 car with Joe Berg on the outside. In row 2, we're going to have Jordan McGraw in the 34 with Joseph Turley on the outside. In row 3, we have Jose Ruiz alongside Matt Burgess. In row 4, we have Jimmy Cocker in P7 with Jackson Glenn Austin on his outside. And in row 5, we have Brody Falliker in P9 with Jonathan Jurgensmeyer on the outside.
Absolute newcomer to Shake and Bake, the Deuce, Jarrett Cardwell, sitting P11 with Dane Cruz in the 81 P12. P13 looks like it's going to be the one and only James Holzer, season 1 champ in the 17, rocking P13. P14, Luke Allen in the number 7. P15, Rivers Jones in the 91 to his outside. P16 is going to be Riley Rosenbrook in the 86. P17, Hunter Johnson in the 18 with Jeff Byers running that 333 P18. P19, Matt O'Brien, our series points leader, rocking the Kings number 43 with the 68, his buddy Tom Harmon in P20.
In 21st, we have Tom Flitcroft in the 8 car with Cody Kalinka on his outside. In 23rd, we have Dylan C. Robb running in that 03 car with Chuck Cody in 24th. And in 25th, we have Jacob Locklear with PJ O'Leary sitting to his outside. In 27th, we have Andrew Wisdom with Andrew Sanford on his outside. In 29th, we have Jacob Palmer with Matthew Gale on the outside. And Pete, take it for the rest.
Absolutely. Philip Bridgman rocking the 9 in P31. 32nd is going to be Jacob Zaff in the 56. The 92 of Kevin Dalatory rocking 33rd. 34th is going to be Francis Hamilton in the 48. 35th, Yusuf Ghali in the 54 with Jeff No, Mr. No, if you will, in that 55, rocking 36. 37th, Connor Cunningham in the 3. It's the Dale Senior's last win car. Absolutely looks great out there. It makes sense to have it here at Dega with Brian Pizzicemi rounding out the field in the 78, 38th. So 38 cars out here, Eliza. What a field.
That's an impressive show for tonight. Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of chaos at first, I think, as these guys try to get used to how the car feels. I mean, this is a lot of guys in the draft, and your car is going to get pretty upset when you have a guy right on your rear bumper. So that's something that these guys are really going to have to just get the feel for it and see how it goes as they make their way through the race. But we're here for 85 laps. Let's get it going, Pete.
Absolutely. 85 laps of high-speed juggernaut racing. I cannot wait. Good to see John Honeycutt up on the pole. That Pepsi machine to his outside. Again, Joe Turley, Jordan McGraw, and Matt Burgess. They've got bird's eye view of the pace car. They're going to see it pull off. They're going to see John Honeycutt get on that loud pedal, and we're going to take off.
We are going to take off, and here goes the pace car. He's going to pull down as soon as he gets around the corner, and these guys are going to have to get ready to go 2, 3, and possibly 4 wide here at Talladega for round 7 in SnB's Cup Series Season 3. You can see John Honeycutt already getting prepared as they make their way through. That is quite a distance. You can see how many cars we have, but man, oh man, I am ready to see it go, and here they go. Green flag is out for Talladega Super Speedway. Let's get it going.
We will definitely see 3 and 4 wide. This place is absolutely wide enough to be able to do just that. You can almost fit 2 cars on the bottom lane alone. Then you got the 3rd and, of course, the high line. Look at the 21, Jackson Glenn Austin already trying to make it 3 wide.
Yeah, these guys are already getting pretty spicy. 3 wide at the start on the backstretch. You see Thomas Harmon. He's going to join back there trying to make something happen, and he's back in 15th. I mean, that just goes to show how close these guys are and how much you can gain or lose by just one simple move.
Absolutely. Harmon up on the high side. He's got that Napa know-how machine right behind, as well as the 12 of, and they're moving. Matt Burgess, there you go. These cars will change position lap after lap after lap. Nobody's going to stay the same this lap as they will be next. 3 wide from about mid-pack on back. But it's still, we got a new leader. Looks like it's going to be Jackson Glenn Austin. He made that middle line work to the point.
He sure did. And John Honeycutt, our pole sitter, moves back to P5, right in the chaos of it all. He's actually just a little bit in front of it, so we'll see how that moves about. But these guys, already a lot spicier than I remember them being. We used to do a little bit of single file, maybe 2 wide, as these guys just kind of figure out how it feels and how everyone's racing. But tonight, these guys are like, you know what? Let's have some fun. We're going to go 3 wide right off the bat.
Absolutely. We've been through some tracks that were really, really slick where handling was the name of the night. Tonight, it's wide open, throttle down, hold a steady wheel, and oh, by the way, watch for your competitors.
Yeah, look at this in the middle, man. That is just so tight as far as the racing goes. We got Jimmy Cocker sitting P11. We got Jarrett Cardwell sitting in 12th, and this is going to be his first race in the Cup Series, but longtime SnB driver for the F1 Series. Great to see him out here. We got James Holster sitting P12. These guys just very close, but you don't see a lot of side drafting until you get towards the front, and then, yeah, they are really testing the limits, and when you get that far close, you're going to see some of the lines moving up while the other one is moving back.
Yeah, one of the guys moving up. How about the 8 of Tom Flitcroft right now? He was just up 7 spots, now up 6. The 17 of James Holzer came on up to try to guide his way on the high line. It was the 8 and the 97 and a couple in the back. They decided they were able to find a hole in that middle line. And, oh, boy, these guys wiggling around just a little bit, maybe trying to break free if somebody's trying to pull them back just a tad. You talked about that earlier, but look at that high line coming.
Yeah, that is a lot of cars right here. But take a look. John Honeycutt makes his way back out to the front. Dane Cruz on his back bumper, and you can see Joe Berg is going to be behind him. He is now making his way back up. Riley Rosenbrook is going to be in fourth. Jackson Glenn Austin moves back to fifth, still up 3 spots where he was. They're starting to get that second line moving. We'll see if they can make it happen. 3 cars. I mean, if you can pinch that low line, they will make some progress up towards the front. And we'll see if a couple of more cars join him. They may make a pass for the lead.
Yeah, look at Jackson. He's actually got his lefts down below that white line, which is where you need him to be. That way you tuck all that air on the right rear of the car below you, pull him back so you propel yourself. He's not going to be happy losing the lead. John Honeycutt comes up to that second line to block, picks up the 21. Does the 21 stay with him? He's forced to because Honeycutt's able to take the block and go back low.
On board with John Honeycutt, looking behind. Glenn Austin is going to go up high, and that's going to shake things up a bit. He's going to have that high side running really smoothly, and there they go with that momentum. He's got a nose out. He could, if he can keep that run, go down to the low side on the backstretch, but he's going to decide to stay up as, man, take a look at how wiggly that low line looks.
Absolutely looks like the 7 of Luke Allen's able to find a hole on the bottom, so he's going to move him on up to P3, up 11 spots in this all-green race so far. These guys doing a phenomenal job. No issues. Saw some people move to the back. They did not want to be part of any, first lap festivities. But how about that 21, Eliza? He's been strong every week since joining Shake and Bake. Back to the front.
He really has. I mean, I know I was told he was a great driver, but I don't know that I was expecting him to be that good. So really fun to watch. But we have 2 packs happening here, Pete. Take a look at this front pack. I'm trying to get a view of how many people are in this. At least 18 drivers, which is absolutely wild. That does not look like 18 drivers. But then we have this second field, and I'm trying to get a feel for where that starts, and that's going to be Hunter Johnson leading that next pack, and they're back just a little bit, so they really have to get that moving.
Yeah, I talked to Hunter Johnson just a little bit. He switched up some cars. He said, Pete, I'm in a cursed car. I didn't know what he meant until he said, yeah, I'm running a Mikey Waltrip Napa know-how machine. Michael Waltrip did some pretty good things restrictor plate racing in his later years, so maybe it's only fitting that it's the 18 of Hunter Johnson going to try to pull this second pack back up to the first, but he's got James Holzer right in his back pocket.
Yeah, he sure does have James Holzer, and he is quite the pusher. If anyone can get him up there, it will be Holzer. I mean, you have Johnson, who is extremely talented, races trucks in real life, so those two working together will be a powerhouse to make it up there. And you can already see they are closing that gap. So this race, this gap is closing, and it's about to get pretty spicy again.
Actually, where does he go with the run? It looks like he went up to the middle line. He moved up just a little too early for the 17 of Holzer, or maybe Holzer didn't know exactly where he's going to go because you cannot see through these cars. 18's going to have to back it down right back up into that middle line.
Take a look, the 54, the 21. These guys are going 3 wide throughout the field. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, you can see him switching it up with these drivers. So a lot of position changes. We see a lot of drastic moves being made to the high side. That would be James Holzer, and man, oh man, what a save out front. A little bit of contact on the quarter panel, and these guys managed to save that. Pretty wild start here.
Absolutely. I was going to say 00 of Jurgensmeyer. He's been everywhere from right behind the 21 of Jackson Glenn Austin a lap or two ago back to 4th, but he was as far back as 8th just a moment. But it's the 50 of John Honeycutt, the 23 of Jose Ruiz, and the 34 car for Jordan McGraw. Team FTR right now running 1, 2, 3.
On board with Jonathan Jurgensmeyer in that 00, and you can see him behind Jordan. As Pete said, he looks like he is just trying to take it easy right now, not putting any bumper to Jordan's rear of his car. So we'll see what they can do. You can push, but it really will upset that rear end So it's not something that you want to risk this early on. It's only lap 10 of 85, so we have a ton of racing left. I'm curious if we'll see more of that throughout the field, but man, a ton of position changes as we do have a gap growing, and it looks like it's going to be starting with that 81 is going to be Dane Cruz. He's going to lead that next pack as he's starting to make his way up and already to the front pack.
Absolutely. Yeah, Hunter Johnson pulled everybody right back up to the main pack. So here they are again under a blanket. But, man, Eliza, I'm really impressed. That little bit of contact could have turned catastrophic for most of the field, but they were able to pull back, get separation again, stay in their respective lines, and we're still cruising.
Take a look at our new leader, Matt O'Brien, and he's got his teammate, Andrew Wisdom, directly behind him. They snuck up. Where did they even come from? Absolutely wild, but that is the way Talladega goes. And take a look at James Holzer with that 18 behind him. They have switched position, and I'll tell you what, Johnson is a huge pusher, and that just goes to show you right there. Huge momentum, and our first caution is out, lap 12 of 85.
Yeah, that momentum that the 17 and Hunter Johnson had on that outside, they were absolutely coming. I watched Jordan McGraw and one other, I think it was Tom Flitcroft, pushing lap after lap, and I bet Jordan, I said, I bet you can't stay behind him long enough to make the motor blow, and sure enough, he couldn't. What happens here?
It looked like the 84 car possibly involved in this. Trying to back it up, see if we can find out a little bit. Yeah. I don't know if he got a push there. Looks like I mean, they were 4 wide. So just ping pong ball back and forth and off they go. Yeah. A few cars involved, but yeah, most people made it through okay, but at least 3-4 cars damaged on that one.
Yeah, unfortunate for John Locklear, he went from the high side back down, and it was with his nose pointed towards that inside wall. Got some damage. Again, these things, they don't damage easily, so hopefully that repair clock for him won't be too bad.
I want to say again to you guys out in chat, we have a first-time chatter. Mute, thank you so much for the follow and for chatting. I hope you're doing good. RC Action says, Dega and Coda this week. What a great week of SnB racing. I'm looking forward to Wednesday at Coda. It should be definitely fun. Morg's rooting for Jarrett. He's doing great out here. Let's take a look. Where is Jarrett right now? He is sitting P15, and you guys know how Talladega goes. I mean, you could be like 4 rows back and be P15. So that's how crazy close it is. We'll see if some of these guys pit, but Pete, I'll tell you, tires are not of huge importance out here. You can just go in and get those lefts only. It just really depends on what you want to do. So we'll see these guys going to fuel up, and if the wear is going down, they may take all 4.
They may, and it's the usual strategy for Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, and whatnot. If it's under green flag racing, these pit stops anyway, you want to take lefts because it's the least amount of time that your crew has to go around. During cautions, you could take the rights because it takes a longer time, and you're probably not going to lose as much. But good pit stop by just about everybody in the field, if I'm not mistaken here. Hunter Johnson's going to inherit the lead in that Napa machine. How about that?
How about that? I mean, it's super fast. We saw him make that leap out with Holzer to the front, and there he is going to lead us back to the green under our first caution, 14 of 85. And I wonder how it feels to be in the seat right now. These guys just on their toes at all time. But while we're under caution, I do want to give a shout out to WoodyxCA. He is our sponsor for the season. If you can, there's the link. Go click that link, go over to his channel, give him a follow. He does NASCAR Heat. He also does some Forza and Call of Duty. So give him a follow, tell him that Pete and I sent you, and then come back on over.
I actually heard some unfortunate news today that the Xbox servers for NASCAR Heat, for all those that are, followed the franchise ever since 07, 09, and maybe even before that, those servers are down, if I'm not mistaken, with no no repair date. But Moore, you just mentioned a little bit ago that Moore is out there in chat saying, "Let's go, Jarrett." How about Jarrett right now, coming off pit road? He is going to restart P4, up 7 spots in those 13 laps before caution number 1 flew.
I mean, that's a great pit stop there as he went in. I do believe I said he was 14th or 15th and making his way up to P4. That gained 7 spots from where he started. So great run for him so far in his debut for the SnB Cup Series. Right now we have Hunter Johnson. He's going to be leading us. Back to green, Joe Berg. He's going to be second. Jackson Glenn Austin in third. We have Jarrett Cardwell in fourth. And James Holzer, he's going to round out the top 5.
Yeah, Holzer in that 18 came on up through on that high line and made it work. Tom Flitcroft's going to restart P6 up 15 spots in that Mountain Dew number 8. Jose Ruiz in that 23. He's going to restart 7th. John Honeycutt, his Team FTR teammate, is going to restart 8th. Matt O'Brien, our current points leader, in that 43, is going to restart 9th. Luke Allen's going to round out the top 10.
Andrew Wisdom in 11th, and Luke Allen is out there in 12th. These guys kind of mixing up. Riley Rosenbrook out there, Thomas Harmon, and Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Jacob Palmer going to round out the top 15 as we get ready to go back to green. Hunter Johnson, man, he loves being out here racing, and I know he switches those paint schemes up. Hopefully that Napa Know-How paint scheme brings him some luck tonight.
Absolutely. Pace car is about to pull off. He's got to wonder, who's he looking for now in the rear view? He knows that Jackson Glenn Austin is behind him, and I'm sure James Holzer is in their team comms saying, "Hey, I'm just a couple back in these cars. We can push the pusher. When I get to you, just hold on because we're going to stay in the front."
Fishboy, thank you for the follow. He says he's rooting on Jacob, so we got a few for Jacob. Much luck to him out here, but on board with Hunter Johnson, taking a look to the back of the field. That is a large field. You guys saw it. 3 wide at the start, and I think we're going to see that again. Expect the race to get more aggressive as it goes on, especially in those final 10 to 15 laps. That's when you're going to see the big one. No different here tonight, but I know a couple of guys were talking about having the slingshot engaged. We're going to see some of that. And we already have with Johnson and Holzer and a few others.
Absolutely. Pace car is off. Going to make that hard left towards Albuquerque. Let's go back racing. Eliza, 18. It's all about him. Does not want to get that start. He's going to go when the flagman tells him to. Jackson Glenn Austin right in his back pocket. We're going green flag. Let's go.
Green flag. Here they go. Once again, we got Barney the flagman just shaking that green flag out, and there they go back down the front stretch once again. That high side on the move lined up pretty well, but man, oh man, that low side has all the momentum right now. You can see it's shaking out a little bit. I mean, it looks like John Honeycutt, his car getting a little upset as they're pushing a couple of guys going to the high side. Pete, 2 wide all the way through.
Yeah, Jose Ruiz shot up to that middle line. Wasn't quite sure if that was a save or if he actually meant to go high. He picked up the 93 of Joe Berg. Tom Flitcroft right behind him. Top 5, single file on the bottom.
These guys are getting wild. We have, the first few people are going to be single file, and it goes 2 and 3 wide, and we got a little bit of trouble for Jarrett. Looked like he might have been into the wall, and we had Luke Allen right behind him. He's going to move back to 21st, or maybe it's a strategy call saying, you know what, it's getting a little too hectic up here. I want to sit in the rear of this pack.
Yeah, and he might have seen again, I'm not quite sure what happened there with Jose. He might have saw Jose have to dive to the outside and he said, no, I don't want to do that. Looks like 21 tried to pick up the run from the outside. New leader, Joe Berg, that 93 finally finds it in that Pepsi. Looks like Camaro.
How about that? He's another one that I've seen improve quite a bit. It's great to see him out here, out front at Talladega, and he's got Hunter Johnson in second, Tom Flitcroft in third, James Holzer in fourth, and John Honeycutt gonna round out the top 5, but Joe Berg is leading that outside. All the momentum, but Hunter Johnson trying to make that change, and he's got Holzer directly behind him.
I tell you, Eliza, when it's all said and done tonight from Dig, I'd love to know how many points are given away for leading a lap. See how many different leaders we're going to have as the night rolls on. Working lap 18 of 85, less than 70 laps remaining in this 85-lap juggernaut race here from Talladega Super Speedway. Welcome aboard.
Well, you get 1 point for leading a lap, and then also 1 point for leading the most laps. So there's a lot of drivers that could use that extra point out here. So I think we're going to see a lot of lead switching as everyone is trying to vie for position. Tom Flitcroft, he's going to be another one, a new leader, and he's got Hunter Johnson pushing him on the inside with Hunter Johnson on the Joe Berg on the outside.
I mentioned it earlier. This is the one super speedway race that got away from the 8 to Tom Flitcroft. Tom's parents usually out there in chat rooting their son on, and right now able to take that lead a point. And I don't think he's going to go anywhere anytime soon. Usually when Tom finds his way to the front, he stays there.
I want to take a look on board with Matt O'Brien, and he's sitting P7 in that 43 machine. Take a look at this view. When you are on top of the car in front of you, you literally see nothing but the rear end of that car in front. You can't really tell when the turn is coming. You can't really see anything. We'll go on board with Holzer as he is pushing everything he can for Tom Flitcroft. He doesn't know when the turn is coming. I mean, he can see a little bit, but you have to make sure that you are fully aware. You're seeing the car in front of you, fully paying attention to that, and you're also making sure that you're aware of where the track might start turning. It can get pretty hectic out there in the car.
Absolutely, and it's up to that guy in second. It's up to the guy second in line to say, "Hey, I'm on the guy's bumper in front. Please don't push the pusher in the corner." I've heard that you can get away with it a little bit on the straightaways, but you don't want to do it in the corners. Pushing the pusher is usually a bad thing and has been for a long time. These next gens a little bit more stable as far as this kind of racing goes.
Flitcroft, Holzer, O'Brien aboard that inside line. That's going to leave John Honeycutt by himself. He's going to fall back. Thomas Harmon going to save him, trying to get him back up there. But man, oh man, he fell 12 spots back to P13. That is just how much movement you can see in a race when people leave you behind. It is absolutely crazy. Right now, Flitcroft and Holzer, they have all the momentum and are absolutely ruling this line.
Yeah, Holzer and Flitcroft in that middle is going to pick Hunter Johnson back up again. We got a wreck in the back.
Wreck in the back. Let's take a look at what happened here. Looks like Jordan McGraw involved Cody Kalinka. Let's see what happened. Put me in like the worst view possible. Let's go back and have another look. A few cars involved: Jordan Cody, Brian Pizzikimi. We have Jacob Zaff, Jimmy Cocker, Kevin Dallator. Oh, 97. I mean, just nowhere to go for Jordan McGraw. Just a lot of movement. You're going 3 wide. I don't know that there's much they could have done with that.
No, I don't think so either, especially, looking at the 55 with Jeff. Nowhere for him to go either. And I mean, it just enclosed. Last week, he was involved in that first lap issue right at the start. Ended up in the outside wall before he even was able to get the second gear. So, or third gear, I should say. But unlucky for some, lucky for others that were able to keep it up front.
Yeah. Our second caution of the night. 49er, thank you so much. I was just about to thank you for the biddies, and then you're out here with the subs. Thank you so much. 10 gifted subs. I'll tell you what, I've been thinking about you. I hope you are doing well. Thank you, 49er. That is awesome. Pete, it's been a crazy night. Talladega Super Speedway, a lot of chaos, a lot more chaos than I expected as far as 2 and 3 wide, but man, these guys are not scared of taking it all the wide that they can.
No, these guys aren't scared whatsoever. This track never disappoints when it comes to great action. We've seen a lot of very, very bold moves. I was watching the 21 of Jackson Glenn Austin in that run. He was not afraid at all of putting that nose probably where it shouldn't have belonged in a few instances. But looks like the 17 and the 18, they're going to be mostly side by side coming off. And it's going to be the 21, 54, 93, and then the 7.
Yeah, mad dash coming off of pit road, but Francis Hamilton is going to be the one that's going to lead us back to green. We're going to have Jimmy Cocker in second, Brody Falliker in third, and I haven't seen a lot of him tonight, so this is the first time we're seeing Brody out front. We'll see what he can do, but he's been super strong this season, absolutely. Kevin Delator is in fourth, James Holzer is P5, and Hunter Johnson, he's going to be sixth.
Yeah, Jackson Glenn Austin, we mention this guy every single week. Not only can he get it done at the traditional paperclip, the cookie cutter kind of tracks, but he can get it done on the super speedways as well. Then Joe Berg, Yusuf Ghali, Luke Allen's going to round out the top 10. Andrew Wisdom, we saw him up front earlier, pushing the 43. Right now back to P11, P12, back with his teammate Matt O'Brien, Jacob Palmer, and Tom Flickroft.
And it's going to be your top 15. We have a Dane Cruz out there in the 81 machine. He's had a great run also. A lot of newer drivers to SnB. It's great to see him doing so well out here. But Francis Hamilton, how about that? In that 48 machine, going to lead us off to the green in that little Chevy.
Yeah, Jimmy Cocker, again, season 1 Daytona's winner. Had a pretty good success last season as well. So 48, 11, 1, and 17 going to restart this. Those are the only guys that stayed out under this caution. James Holzer and Hunter Johnson are going to be the first ones with a little bit more fuel and maybe some fresh rubber underneath their car.
I'm kind of curious how it is as far as restarts and, on older tires. How are their tires in the car going to feel with the older stint? I'm kind of curious. 9, 10 laps right there. And then after that, I mean, these guys are fresh tires. I can't imagine it would do a ton of difference, but you never know. I mean, I've been in some races where it makes all the difference if you take those left side tires so that you can grip that bottom part of that lane.
Yeah, as I look through their pit times, most of them are in the 6, 5, 7-second range. So that tells me it's just topping off on the fuel and 2 tires. They probably took 2 a little bit ago and a little bit of a stack up on the bottom. But looks like if they took rights before, this time they took lefts or vice versa. But either way, they're full of fuel.
They're full of fuel and full of fire as these guys are getting ready to go back to green, heading to lap 25 of 85. Our second caution of the night. Let me know, guys, do you think we're going to see the big one? To be honest, for myself, I think if we see it, it's going to be towards the end of the race. That's when things really ramp up and you got the cars in the back trying to go for every position that they can. Justin, I see you out there. Rangers, how you guys doing? Maddie, hope you're well. You guys are having fun out there in chat. But yeah, take a look at this group. We'll get them lined up a little bit closer as they get ready to go green. But man, what a night at Talladega. A lot of fun racing, Pete.
Oh, yeah, a lot of fun racing. Some people a little upset at that bottom line. From what it sounds like in Team Comms, 48 might have shut it down to save a little bit of fuel. It did not come on down pit road. He's going to watch the pace car go ahead and peel off. Jimmy Cocker, again, is going to be to his outside. The one forever strong, again, up here running P3. I saw him pushing Tom Flickroft and the 17 of Holzer earlier. Now let's see what he could do with this 48 Detroit Tigers machine on this restart. Francis Hamilton, he's the man.
High side, not a great start. You see Holzer hanging back. But Brody Falliker is all over the back bumper of that 48 machine, and a couple of guys in the back already trying to go to the high side, trying to make up some time as they fell back a little bit. But man, oh man, doing a great job. The top 5 drivers out in front and that high side trying to make something happen. But as of right now, they're struggling a little bit, Pete.
Yeah, struggling just a little bit. You're looking at Kevin Delatorre as well as the 21 Jackson Glenn Austin, 93. 54 continues to make points up, or positions up, I should say. Yusuf Ghali, again, a new racer here to Shakebake with that 92, leading the high line, getting some pretty abrasive shoves, having to save it. Good job.
Yeah, that's getting a little sketchy out there up top, and I'll tell you what, it does. I mean, you have all that air and all that push just really making your rear end fishtail as he goes up to the top of the track, makes a little bit of contact possibly with the wall, but he's going to hold on to that third line. But man, oh man, is he gonna fall like a brick as they are still 3 wide and he's trying to find a home back in the field.
Yeah, 7, he didn't like what he was seeing with the 93 of Joe Berg, 51 of Andrew Wisdom down low. Middle line kind of separated after Holzer back to the 93. Holzer and Hunter Johnson, though, they continue to find themselves nose to tail, right about even with Jimmy Cocker.
Yeah, Francis Hamilton looking really strong. Hunter is going to be in second. They have that high side rolling, and it's no other but Johnson and Holzer really making that top line move. I mean, they seem to work really, really well together. Both of them are fantastic pushers, and it's just so apparent with all that momentum that they are seeing. And you can see a huge line following, trying to make up all they can, saying, you know, if it's working, I'm going with these guys.
Yeah, I tell you what, I would not want to see those two stay leading the entire night, because something tells me they'd end up wrapping the high side or wrapping the bottom. Everybody's just going to kind of fall in line with how fast they are, and they want to keep their cars clean for the rest of this 85 lapper here from Talladega. Bottom line, Detroit Tigers coming on back, 1 pushing to 48.
We got James Holzer. I'm on board with him as he lags out a little bit, but you can see him just all over the back bumper of Hunter Johnson. These two are not on the same team. Okay, this is a track where you really want to use your teammates, and if you can't use your teammates, you want to have that communication with someone that you work well with. These two are clearly working well with each other, so I'm curious, how much communication are these guys doing, or are they just winging it and just going from the rhythm of it and knowing that they're just doing so well?
Look at that bottom line surge back, 48 back to the lead. 1 again, continuing to shove as hard as he can, talking about the one and only Brody Falker. He's got his teammate, that Virginia Tech themed number 11, keeps wanting to throw me off with that 31 back down to the 11 of Jimmy Cocker. Andrew Wisdom finds himself back up P4, and again our points leader running the Kings 43, Matt O'Brien, P5 or so.
3 lanes moving at the moment, and no one is really kind of side drafting anyone else. They're just pretty much staying in their lanes at the moment, but you can see Hunter Johnson, he's trying to use the momentum from squeezing that low line, but they are not following. That's going to be John Honeycutt directly behind. They're trying to make their way back up there, but it looks like Yusuf, he's out there in the lead with Dane Cruz. He is going to be behind pushing, and they are on the high side making that line go.
I do know that in the long run, the high side absolutely prevails. It's just something about the momentum, something about the tire wear. Not 100% sure on the why of it, but you definitely want to be up high as the car wears up. Look at his 18 being shoved by the 50 of John Honeycutt, 3 wide for the lead.
How about that? Take a look at this. You could cover him with a blanket. John Honeycutt gonna get loose as he tries to correct it behind Hunter Johnson as he moves down. Yusuf is still out in the lead, but man, oh man, these guys really, really pushing the limits out here. You can see a lot of position changes, a lot of movement from the high side to the low side and vice versa. But still, one thing remains. Yusuf and Francis, they are still out front. Francis on the bottom, Yusuf on the top. And Francis kind of has no one pushing him up to his back bumper just yet. Here he comes, Brody Falker, gonna push him right behind.
About the 68 Avril Lavigne Camaro for Tom Harmon, finally showing his Camaro up towards the front right now, leading that middle pack as the 18 and 50 dive low. He's going to go ahead and dive low as well. 48 had a little bit of a gap there. So new runner P3. How about old Tom Harmon?
I don't think these guys have let off, Pete. This is absolutely insane. That's why I love this racing. I love to be involved with it. The closer contact quarters that you are, I'm just like, just hand it over. I want it all. I want it all. I love the speed of it, the intensity, you name it. Mayor, thank you so much for tuning in. 49er, the famous words. I did it just for you.
Oh, I tell you, Eliza, if you want, I'll give you your keys back. You can go jump in your 64 and get back out on track. I know you miss it. I know you'd rather be out there mixing it up with these guys and girls, and you're one hell of a driver in your own right as well. But, yeah, these guys are absolutely putting on a show. Working lap 32 of 85, 53 more laps remaining here from Talladega. Everybody out there in chat, welcome aboard. What a race it's been so far.
What a race it's been, and we're on board with Hunter Johnson. Looking behind, and you can see John Honeycutt all over his back bumper. You can see him weaving back and forth. I mean, your car, just so much movement. You got the car in front of you steering, and wherever he goes, it's going to pull you, and it can really upset those cars in line. But they're doing a fantastic job trying to make their way around the track as straight as possible. You have to try to keep that machine under control. Otherwise, you can get squirrely, and you're going to have a huge chaos and a huge wreck ensue.
Yeah, I mean, just giving a shot in the wrong spot can do all of that without even meaning to. Top three right now, nose to tail, single file on the bottom. Eliza, I don't think anybody has been lost from this pack. We are still 30-plus deep all the way down the backstretch going into three.
You sure are. Take a look at that. That's the field. We have a couple of guys out in the back, but, you know, it could be a strategy call. They're holding on to the draft, which is actually extremely difficult to do. The longer that you go without any draft, the harder it's going to be to stay up there with them. And you see a couple of stragglers back here, and I have a feeling that's going to be Jordan McGraw, Philip Bridgman, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. He's going to lead that pack in that 00.
Yeah, some of the guys that got damage in one of the two cautions that we've had so far for this evening. 18 pulling up in front of the 40. I'm sorry, that's actually going to be the 39 of Jacob Palmer. Good job by Jacob Palmer, actually. He was just leading that outside line. He's got Brian Pizzicemi right in his pocket. And, man, it's good to see Jacob Palmer having a good run tonight.
He was pumped. I talked to him a little bit, and he said, you know what, I'm here. I'm ready for this. I'm going to be towards the front. He was excited to run out here, so it's really good to see him run well out here. But Yusuf, he finds himself back to the front, up 34 positions from where he started. That goes to show you anything can happen here at Talladega. And if you have a guess or who you're rooting for, I know the race has still continued, so if it's changed, let me know in chat who you're rooting for. You see a lot of movement for Thomas Harmon. I'm not sure what was going on there, but he had to take it down low to try to save it. We saw Jacob Locklear earlier involved in a caution. He's back up here in P7.
Yeah, it's a great thing, too. There's some of the damage that you get with these cars. If you're able to fix it quickly, perfect. If not, just keep it in the draft, and you could still be really competitive. Oh, looks like 39-18, kind of mixing it up a little bit. I'm not quite sure if Jacob Palmer came on up to block, or if maybe he got a little bit of a shot in the backside that made him squirrely, but now he's got the 17 of Holzer right in his rear view.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I am holding on for dear life. I'm telling you, Holzer behind Palmer. If you guys know the story, it was last season, I do believe. And Holzer was pushing Palmer, and just so much excitement. Palmer was so excited. I forget where he finished, but man, oh man, he pushed him past so many cars and did such a great job. So much fun. But these guys are just extremely close. Yusuf is out there. P2, Hunter Johnson has taken the lead on that high side. Brian Pizzicemi out P2, so 36 spots up from where he started. That's insane, Pete.
Yeah, Brian Pizzicemi, he was one in another league. He was kind of like trying to keep me pumped up because I was just horrible at Texas Motor Speedway last week as they go almost four wide right behind that Napa machine, as well as the 12 root beer. There's a little bit of crowding going on. 24 working up the high side. 81, I believe that was, said, nuh-uh, not having any of it.
Woo, Thomas Harmon almost hitting that wall as they're making their way on by. That is absolutely crazy. Dino Mom, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Maz, I see you out there. Justin, I'm not... I know I said that, but I'm not repeating that one. It is unfortunate for Jordan, though. I will say that. But yeah, these drivers just extremely close racing. We do have the front pack getting away, and there's going to be the top 4 cars. And then you're going to see Jacob Locklear leading that second little pack that is already up to the first one. Francis Hamilton. Oh, huge chaos back here. Let's take a look if we can find out exactly what happened.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Kevin Dallatore, Jose Ruiz, Brian Pizzacami, and others. Very unfortunate.
4 cars wide. It's going to be Joe Berg and Matt Burgess that were involved in that started that. Extremely difficult to go 4 wide and be clean about it. You can see how it ended up right there, but no fast repairs. So if something happens, I mean, you kind of have to fix the damage and just say, well, we got to do better here. But Matt Burgess not leaving a lot of room to those 2 cars underneath him. He had 1 car above him, but it's just hard to tell. He may not even known that they were 4 wide there, Pete.
May not have. I mean, his spotter was sure to say in and out. Very, very unfortunate for that number 1 FIWB Motorsports machine. That Camaro's fast every single week. He can kind of take a lump now and then because he's strong every other week, Eliza.
So true. Dino Mom says, go number 18, Hunter Johnson. I'll tell you what, we've been talking about Hunter Johnson. This guy is out here in the lead once again, has been extremely strong out here, being pushed by Holzer several times, but Holzer's back there in 10th. Yusuf Galley out here in 2nd. John Honeycutt in 3rd. We're going to have Jackson Glenn Austin in 4th. Jacob Locklear is going to round out your top 5, and he's up 20 spots from where he started.
Yeah, Jeff Byers right now sitting P6 in that 333, up 12. Frank Hamilton in the 48, up 27, rocking P7. In 8th, going to be up 4 spots, the 81 of Dane Cruz. Jacob Palmer and James Holtz around out the top 10. Eliza, they're coming down pit road yet again.
They are coming down pit road. Might as well take advantage of it. You know what? Comes a certain point. I mean, we're almost halfway there. Why not get 4 full tires, fix that fuel right up, and I'm coming out. Positioning is so incredibly important here. You know, if you're out front, you want to make sure that you stay out front. And if you're going to decide to do the back of the pack, you really have to watch how close that you're going to follow and your strategy moving forward.
Well, is this a strategy call or other? The 67 of Matt Gale out of the UK. He's going to stay out, grab a point for leading a lap. He's also going to go ahead and be the one to, get things back rolling as the control car. So interesting to see, Matt, with this strategy.
Absolutely. And let's go ahead and get Mr. Hunter Johnson out here. I know he's looking extremely good, so we'll have a little interview with him if I can go ahead and find him. There we go. All right, Mr. Hunter, how are you doing out there?
I'm scared.
You've been incredibly strong. I know your car's got to be feeling good. You were working really, really well with Holzer. Did you guys have communication with that, or was that just something that you just started doing well with and you just went with it?
Me and Holtz always worked pretty good together. Anytime we're at a super speedway or any track for that matter. So as soon as he pushed me, we tried it out. I didn't really like it that much. So then I had the opportunity to shove him. I said, all right, let's see what this does. And it worked out a little better, and we took off like rocket ship. So if we get lined up again, it's going to be pretty tough.
I agree. All right, strategy moving forward is lap 40 of 85. Are you going to hang out front, or are you going to try to stay in the back of the front pack? What are we doing here?
I think staying up front, staying ahead of all the mayhem is very important. This package is very odd tonight. It's hard to explain. You can get a really good run if cars are ahead of you, and then once you make a move, it's hard to pass anybody and keep that run because as y'all seen, one lane hasn't been dominant today. It hasn't been single file bottom or running the top. I've tried branching around, trying all three lanes, and I haven't found one yet that can charge and stay ahead the whole time. So it's kind of all the runs are really really big. A lot of the pushes are really really hard. It's guys gonna be aggressive, and it's gonna be. I'm just waiting for the one push gone wrong for me.
We'll be seeing the aggression, and I think it's going to ramp up here shortly once again. But good luck to you out there. You're looking strong.
Thank you. I'm gonna need it.
All right, that was Hunter Johnson. He is currently sitting at P6. Been strong all night, but Matthew Gale out front here going to lead us to the green. John Honeycutt is going to be on his outside with Jacob Palmer in third, Yusuf Ghali in fourth, and Hunter Johnson.
Wow, Eliza, I'm curious how this is going to work. When you were talking about Hunter Johnson and James Holzer being able to line up and they were able to just really go wherever they wanted to go in whichever lane they wanted to be in, will this be a tandem win? Will we see a 1-2 that's going to be broken apart by half second coming to the checkers tonight, or are we going to see a phenomenal 3 or 4 wide finish? I can't wait to see.
You know, it could be a 3 and 4 wide finish, but it also could be two guys front and back pushing each other. You know, we've decided that these cars are a lot stronger if you keep them 8 cars and under. 2 is going to be super strong, 3 is going to be a little bit stronger, but once you hit to that 8 to 10 mark, that's when it starts to slow down. So if these guys can break away from the other guys, and if we can get a green flag pit stop in, that's going to really shake things up.
Yeah, it will, and it's gonna. We haven't written the finish for this one as of yet. Pace car is off though. Matt Gale, he is a control car running at pace speed. He's got the 50 of John Honeycutt to the outside. Jacob Palmer, the 54 of Yusuf Ghali. Green flag is coming back out, Eliza. Let's go racing.
Green flag. Green
Here
flag.
they go. Matthew Gale is already on it. Kind of gets away a little bit from Jacob Palmer, which is not going to help him as he had a great start, but they are off and running, and that high side is going to have a lot of movement as Yusuf is going to go ahead and tuck in behind Matthew Gale.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was Matt Gale's saving grace. If Yusuf decided he was going to go around the outside, there was nothing that Matt was going to be able to do about it. As you can see, he's bottlenecking or slowing down that bottom line. You don't want to have that kind of a launch at a super speedway because everybody else in the draft getting those shoves, they're going to pick you up, they're going to pass you by, and they're going to wave at you in the rear view.
Stacka, I see you out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ran the Conqueror, I see you out there. Hope you guys are doing well. But Yusuf back to the lead once again. He's got John Honeycutt directly behind him. And then we're going to have Dane Cruz in third. We have Jacob Palmer leading that inside line with Tom Flitcroft starting P4 directly behind Dane.
Yeah, Tom Flitcroft, he's the last of the 4 cars nose to tail right now. Here comes the 23 of Jose Ruiz. Jackson Glenn Austin up high in that 21 as Joe Berg in that Pepsi number 93 jumps in line also.
Single file in the front of the pack, and then we're going to have 2 wide as it heads towards that center, and a lot of movement. We see Jackson Glenn Austin go low, Matt Burgess go high. You can see their cars just getting really upset with all that contact, and in that mix is who we just talked to, Hunter Johnson. He's saying it feels, a little different. Big pushes are really upsetting the car, but they are looking good. Who is that? Is that going to be Jordan McGraw missing the front end of his car? Meanwhile, right behind him, they were 3 wide for a second.
There it is.
Still
That's
are.
a great example of just keeping the front end in the draft. Somebody behind you, you can get it going as Hunter Johnson squeezes right in front of the 84. Good thing old Uncle Netco didn't take a flight to Talladega. Otherwise, that could have been pretty bad for the 18 of Hunter Johnson. Now the 12 of Matt Burgess, A&W root beer machine, going to slide in right ahead of him. But how about old J-Mac? What a recovery.
What a recovery for him, but that high side is just absolutely obliterating that low line. You can see who is that leading that back there. I want to say it's Jacob Palmer, who we saw, It looked like it was Jacob, but these guys moved down, it looks like. But he lost a lot of spaces from that, from earlier on. Just incredible with how much just a couple of moves can set some of these guys way back.
Look at the momentum that the rest of the field had, just as the 67 Matt Gale is able to recoup. He's going to fall from the lead back to P17, Eliza. Everybody else went around him on the high side. We saw that train just coming around, and there wasn't anything he could do. He was on the bottom. He had the two, Jarrett Cardwell right behind him, but everybody else scooted around.
You see a long line to his high side. He's got Brody Falliker directly in front of him, and he's not hitting his bumper. He's just trying to take it chill right now, not trying to make too many waves, but keep that air moving in front of him to try to keep that line moving. But they're having a lot of trouble trying to keep this line straight and making it to the front.
Yeah, the 81 now on the bottom. That's going to, I'm looking for him right quick. He's got Jeff No and others. It looks like Jimmy Cocker, the one, and more right behind him. But that line it's not going anywhere, Eliza. It's, for some reason, that bottom really stalled out.
Yeah, it is absolutely going backwards. Meanwhile, Yusuf is just leading the field, and he looks good out here. He looks very confident. They're running on that highest line, and that a lot of times can be the fastest. You said it earlier. Later in the race, we're going to see a lot of these guys run up high, and that's what we're seeing right now with Tom Flitcroft in second. We have Jose in third, Joe Berg back up here in fourth, and we have Francis Hamilton in that 48 looking really strong, and Jackson Glenn Austin, he's right in this line also, sitting P6.
Eliza, we're seeing something that I absolutely hate about real life racing at these tracks. Just a train up high, nobody trying to pull down until it looks like that number one, that Mobile One machine rather. He decided, no, I'm not doing this. He got down to the bottom, but I think he's going to go to the back also. Yusuf Ghali's just something about that 54 that the rest of the field seems to like, including the 8 of Tom Flitcroft.
Hunter Johnson is really starting to get this line moving. He dove down low along with Matt Burgess, and they really got that momentum flowing. Absolutely saved that low line, and here they go up to the front, and we have a 79 of Cody Kalinka stuck in the sucker hole, and he's going to fall back as he tries to find a home in the low side or the high lane.
Yeah, Cody Kalinka in the middle. He's got the 68 up high. The 2 of Jarrett Cardwell. It looks like he's going to be able to slide in right in front of him. You see the 333 back there as well. So a lot of moving and shaking. 48 out of 80. I'm sorry, 48 out of 85 now complete. And that high side is completely dissipated back to 2 lanes except for in the back.
Take a look, a new leader, Tom Flitcroft. So many lead changes. I would love to know just how many we've had. He's down low, and a little scary that Hunter Johnson was a little to his side. That could have been cooling the engine. But man, oh man, these guys really pushing. That's the 54, the 21, and looks like the 81. So these guys really working together to get back out front once again on that high side.
Yep, there was that tandem push until the 54 gave the 21 a little bit of a shot, got him loose. A great save by the 21, and they come back up to pick up the high line. 54, nowhere to go, had to check up just a little bit. Yusuf Ghali back to P3 on the high. How about the new leader, though, 23, Jose Ruiz.
New leader, if he can lead it to the line, he's going to get that extra point. But Tom Flitcroft says, no thanks, I'd rather take it myself. And he's going to go up high. Hunter Johnson will follow with Dane Cruz, and they take that back over. That high side is just so strong. That's where you want to be right now.
Yeah, these shots are very hard coming to these bumpers. The 81, the 21, the 54, they were just nose to tail, and we saw them rocket to the front, much like we saw the 18 and the 17 of Holzer earlier in the race. So they saw them do it. Trick is no longer in the bag, and high side right now, 6 or 7 strong.
Yeah, you know, I've been in front of Hunter Johnson before, and his pushes, he actually can be extremely gentle, but once he is making contact with your bumper, if he can make it all the way through the corner, he will not let off. And if you can be smooth about it, You absolutely fly. The same goes for Holzer. Just incredible pushers out there, and you can see so many times Hunter Johnson has made it to the front, and it's from either being pushed or he's pushing.
Yeah, he's just an all-around great racer. It was very, very unfortunate in season 1 where Hunter Johnson had to bow out of his championship bid. He had earned a spot into the final 4, final 8, I believe. But life comes first, Eliza. But right now, the 18 looking really, really strong, not only here at Dega, but this season as well.
On board with Tom, and Tom falls to 4th as we have a new leader, Dane Cruz, and he's going to make his way out in that 81 machine with Jackson Glenn Austin directly behind him. A little bit of gap between him and looks like Yusuf behind. Man, these guys just all over the place. Tons of position changes. Nothing is set, but take a look. You can see poor Jordan McGraw missing that front end, and yet here he is, P11th up front. Can't complain.
No, not at all. He's got the 24 of PJ O'Leary right in his back pocket, as well as the 03 of Dylan Robb. So the high side pretty stacked as well. But Jordan McGraw, I tell you, and I said it last week, and I think I even said it before that. Anytime he has an issue, there is no quit in this driver whatsoever. He's going to get out there and do his very best to continue to mix it up all race long, trying to do his best to complete every lap.
With or without a front end, it doesn't matter. Dane Cruz still leading that low line. They've kind of moved down as Tom Flitcroft is on that high side with Hunter Johnson behind. Top 3 drivers for both lines and a little bit of gap behind them. I'm kind of curious if we can see that green flag run I was talking about earlier on and get that green flag pit stop going. I want to see what packs stay together, and it all depends. Are you going to mess up your pit stop? Are you going to overtake it? Are you going to speed? So many things change, but man, oh man, what a move by Jose as he just flings it down low in front of Tom.
Yeah, we saw the 54 go high, 21 in the 84, I believe. I'm sorry, 81. They decided they were going to go up high to block. Yusuf wanted to lead back for himself. At 23, he just took an elevator ride. He just dropped straight to the bottom, right in front of the 8 of Tom Flitcroft, as well as the 18. Man, big moves going on right now.
Big moves, and back here it looks like we're going to be 3 wide once again, and that's going to be, I do believe, Luke Allen possibly for that 3 wide position, and then just single file all the way through. I think these guys are kind of realizing 54 of 85, we just kind of need to chill out a little bit, waste some laps, and then we'll start getting things moving again, possibly 3 wide, but they're looking pretty steady out here right now, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely. The high side, low side, just as I say that, the 50 of John Honeycutt, he's decided he's going to go ahead and bring him down up the middle, if at all possible. Got PJ O'Leary right behind, and then it's going to be Cody Kalinka, the 34 of Jordan McGraw, and then the 03. So back 3 wide. I thought for, maybe a second that they might decide they were going to stay high and low. No crowding, no issues, just ride out. Everybody can make it to the checkers.
They heard me talking. They're like, you know what, Eliza, I'm going to show you. And immediately went 3 wide. Good for
Absolutely.
them. Racing it. You can see out here as we are on the backstretch heading into turn 3. Single file through the back of the field, but also exciting. Hunter Johnson back to the lead. Dane Cruz in 2nd. Jackson Glenn Austin in 3rd. John Honeycutt going to be in 4th, and PJ O'Leary out here in the front. Cody Kalinka making a move down low. Some guys into the wall. That's going to be Jackson Glenn Austin, Honeycutt. That switches things up, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the 81 took a little bit of a shot as well into to the outside wall. I think the 50 of Honeycutt might have been able to avoid the wall. I didn't catch that. I think if he did, it was just maybe a little bit of his right rear. Honeycutt's really been up on the wheel all night long, not trying to jinx the guy. Great race for him so far.
Great race for him, and Hunter and Dane were working really well together, put a little bit gap between them in the field, but Jackson Glenn Austin, once he got it gathered back up behind him, they made their way to the front too, and they are in a line once again trying to get that momentum back intact, and Luke Allen is going to be leading that bottom lane as he sits P4.
Absolutely. All of Dart Motorsports cars painted somewhat alike. The 7, like you just said, leading the bottom. There's also the 97 and a couple others. Kind of give me some old IROC vibes, but very, very strong out here at Dega.
Let's take a look at that 97. Oh, that is unfortunate. When you're by yourself, that is the most loneliest feeling you can have out there at Talladega Superspeedway, by yourself, no one around. That's going to be our Joseph Turley. A lot of movement still back out front, 3 wide. We're going to have Cody Kalinka leading that middle line. That outside, just a ton of momentum. Honeycutt leading the inside. Hunter Johnson the outside. And Dane Cruz going to be in second place.
Eliza, I got to ask you, when it comes down to it, which position do you want to be in when you see Barney up in the flag stand with the checkers about ready to wave? What spot, what position do you want to be in for your best chance for a win?
I mean, if it's about ready to wave, I want to be in first. Absolutely. But if it's before turn 3 heading into the checkered turn 3, I want to be in third. That's where I want to be, because you can slingshot. You're hoping some guys are going to follow you and get that momentum, but you really have to time it right. Otherwise, I always say it when I'm racing, as the leader, you feel like the biggest sitting duck. There is absolutely nothing you can do.
Yep, there is absolutely nothing at all that you can do. I don't think I'd ever want to be first running at a super speedway track. Maybe Atlanta, since it's so hard to pass there nowadays. But Daytona, Talladega, I do not want to be first on that final lap, because I know the pass is coming from somewhere, and to try to block it when it gets to you, that person, they're not lifting. There is no more lifting. That rule it's gone. And the likelihood of you getting wrecked goes up, and somebody else taking the checkers for you.
You said it right there. A little bit of congestion going on here. Dylan is sitting P10. John Honeycutt falling back. A little bit of mayhem happening as Dylan making some moves up towards the front. He's in the middle line. He's got the low line, and here he comes down low. But take a look at his picture. Cracks me up. Some of these guys in their pictures, they get very, very creative. Dylan out here in that 03 machine. Cody Kalinka going to be in 9th, but it is strong. These guys, that high side, is showing that is the place you want to be. Oh, yeah, Tom Harmon. I can't even find him, but man, I saw a little glimpse of him, and I thought he was going to wreck Pete.
Yeah, Tom Harmon, he's pretty close to the back right now, sitting P26. He was able to find a hole right behind Jarrett Cardwell, and I believe it's going to be Andrew Sanford back there. So good job by him. He's going to have to try to work his way back forward. If there's anybody that can work his way from the back to the front, it is Tom Harmon.
It is Tom Harmon, and we still have Brian Pizzakemi fixing that damage along with Jacob Zaff. So unfortunate to see them in pit lane. Hunter Johnson still leading the field, and everyone, except for a few, Pete, they've moved up top. And as soon as I say that, some of them are moving down low, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, I saw the 8 of Tom Flitcroft go on down there. It looks like Cody Kalinka right in front of him. The 8 car absolutely shoving that 79 Hooters machine, and now they picked up James Holzer. You've got 3 bad fast cars on that bottom. The don't push the pusher rule gone. Look at the momentum. Look at the ground they're making up. Kalinka will not be long before he's leading this thing.
Yeah, here he goes right to the lead, and take a look at his line. I mean, just so steady on the wheel, and that is what is allowing Tom Flitcroft to give him a push. And you got James Holzer down there pushing behind, and a couple of more takers for the move, but solid night for them.
Ooh, wow. 18 just barely able to make it in front of Cody Kalinka, but that ended up slowing up that whole line. I mean, that put Kalinka back to 4th. So he really had to get on the binders and, gave away all the positions that he just made up.
Yeah, Jacob Colby out in chat says, poor Jacob Zaff. I know, not the night he wanted to see. 23 laps to go, and Hunter Johnson, I'm sure he got a couple of grumblings from Cody Kalinka and some of the guys behind him, as he just made a very aggressive move, as these guys look like they are going 3 and 4 wide at one point. So incredibly close, and they're about to hit some traffic here, Pete.
Yeah, they are coming up on lap traffic. Some of the guys that were, fixing the cars have some damage, just slower. 18 up high, Cody Kalinka down low. Where does the lap traffic go? It's just one lonely car. It looks like it's going to be the 97 that we were talking about just a little bit ago. I think with as wide as this place is, all he's got to do is come over calm, say, okay, leader, where do you want me?
Yeah, and Hunter Johnson is not shy. He will tell him where he wants him. He's probably going to tell him to go down off of the track or go down low and slow up the guys down there. But very, very close. They're going to dive it down into the second line, and we're going to have the blue car up in the third as they make their way on through.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate for the 97. Again, great looking paint scheme. I was talking about his car in practice. Absolutely love that combo. But everybody able to get on by very clean. 18 still up high. Kalinka didn't lose anything. In fact, if Kalinka gained the lead, it looks like he's going to have enough to come on by the start stripe with Holzer behind. Kalinka's going to lead a lap.
This is where things get interesting because, people are not going to be satisfied with just pushing these guys out front. They're going to try to make it 3, possibly 4 wide as we get closer to the checkered here. 21 laps to go, so it's too early to try to make that chaos happen just yet, but they're thinking about it. And as soon as I say that, Pete, in the back, we have Thomas Harmon trying to take it 3 wide down the middle, and they are 4 wide across in the middle of the field. It's early for me. I'm saying it's too early to make this go that crazy. But yeah, if you want to make up some positions, that's the way to do it.
I'll tell you what, if Tom Harmon is listening to the broadcast, as he sometimes does, and he knows Yusuf Ghali has a very, very fast car, he's led some laps. Well, right now he's behind him. He's 6th or 7th in line on the high side, so he's right where he needed to be. Eliza, last time we were talking about Tom Harmon, I said if anybody can work his way from the back to the front, that's him. Well, look at him now.
Look at him now, and he's got Yusuf right there, 2 cars ahead. These guys are moving, and we're going to have more lap cars involved on the field. So 3 wide, I would say that they're going to probably tell them to just stay off the track. If not, we could possibly see a big one right here as they try to make their way through, and the low line is deciding, oh boy, where are we going to go for this one?
Yeah, Andrew Wisdom bringing up the middle. It's going to be the 12 A&W Root Beer Machine as we got some green flag pit stops kicking off. Holzer leads some down pit road. 12 still on the bottom. That actually kind of clears up that whole issue about where the lap car goes. 51, 54, 43, and the 3 of Connor Cunningham now on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if that was a last second call. 79 misses his pit box, has to go back in order to make it, but a good call for them if it was last second is, you know what, just let's go in. We got lap cars involved. Let's go in, get some fuel, and head back out. And hopefully it works out, but this is where things really start to shake up, and we'll see where everyone comes out from pit lane.
Boy, look at that 54 again, leading the bottom line, coming up on traffic. That lap traffic goes ahead and pulls low, allowing both him and last week's winner, Andrew Wisdom, to get on by. 43 of Matt O'Brien, Andrew Wisdom's teammate, right behind. Man, some new players coming up to the front.
Pretty early call for them. I'm kind of surprised, but then again, a great strategy call that they went in. We'll see when the next guys follow, but Yusuf leading that low line, trying to make up a little bit of a gap between these guys. This is when it gets interesting, when those top line guys want to go in. They're going to have to try to make their way down low without losing too many positions to get onto pit lane.
We saw the 54 tag the wall earlier. I wonder if he's the best person to lead that bottom line right now. 51 says, man, I'm sorry, I'm not making up any headway. I got to go. jumps out of line, gets up right in front of Jordan McGraw in his battled number 34 Dale Jr. throwback machine. And it looks like, how about that Mobile 1 machine starting to work his way forward as well. Talking about the 84, Jacob Locklear.
Locklear, and let's take a look at Tom Flitcroft and his crew. He just made his way up to a couple of other cars so they can use this group to try to gain some time and hopefully come out on top when these guys start to pit. But they are still together. Tom Flitcroft, James Holzer, Cody Kalinka, Jeff No. Great job to these guys in the group. But Dane Cruz is leading the field right now. Ooh. Jackson Glenn Austin dives it down low. Look at the field. Everyone switching as everyone is just piling down pit lane. Everyone checking up those brakes. We have an incident. Yusuf Ghali, he goes down low, not clear, and he is going to wreck it coming into his line.
Yeah, Yusuf trying to grab a gear, getting into his pit stop, or pit box rather. Came across, I believe that was the nose of the 18. And yeah, that Yusuf had a phenomenal car. I'm going to guess this is just going to be gas only and get on back out. He's definitely going to have some time he needs to make up.
We'll see how they make their way. Dane Cruz still leading this field. We'll see where they come out, but he is the only one left, so he will be solo on his way out, and that is absolutely going to devastate his race unless we get a caution.
It's absolutely possible. I mean, there's still a lot of guys out here that were last on pit road, lap 39, lap 40, including our leader, Dane Cruz, Jackson Glenn Austin. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer was in on lap 40. We haven't talked much about him tonight in that 00. Jacob Locklear, Jordan McGraw, Jose Ruiz, Brody Falliker, Jeff Byers. There's a whole host of cars that still have to come on down pit road.
Yeah, they still have to come on down pit road, and I'm kind of wondering if they're going to do it shortly with coming up to 14 laps left to go here at Talladega Superspeedway. Now's the time to do it. You don't want to wait too long. But then again, you're not going to lose a lot of time here at Talladega considering it is so draft driven. As long as you can work together, you'll be just fine.
Leaders decide to go ahead and stay out. 21 Jackson Glenn Austin. I thought for a moment he might have gone ahead and wanted to pull high as they're going to get up and get by the 54. So right now that's actually going to put the 54 one lap down. My oh my, how the tides have turned for Joseph Ghali.
13th position is going to be Thomas Harmon, and he is leading that second pack. And the first pack is going to be down the backstretch, heading into turn 3. So we do have a couple of packs, and 12th is going to be Riley, who is leading just a 3-car pack in here. So a lot of separation for these guys. Dane Cruz, will see when they make their way in. It will not be this lap.
The 12 and the 97, they had gone a lap down, so it'll be interesting to see just how much they're able to help the 86 of Riley Rosenbrook, or are they too battle damaged, or what's going on with these other cars? Obviously, the 3 cars are going to be faster than 2. Obviously, one's 3 faster than 1. So we'll have to see how this shakes out. I don't think they're going to make up any time on the big packs, but at least they'll get up to somewhat competitive speed.
Top 11 drivers, lap 33 old tires. So they should be coming in rather shortly. That's going to go all the way to Jimmy Cocker. P11 out here. Dane Cruz, we'll see if he makes his way on in, if they've communicated that they will go in. Let's see what happens. Yeah, here they go.
Here we go.
That is a lot of cars to make their way in. If you decide to stay out 3 abreast as they make their way into pit lane, we'll see. We don't want the same issue happening that happened to Yusuf. Jordan on that outside. We'll see him make his way in right next to teammate Jose. Him and I have had an issue on pit road where we have taken each other out trying to make our way in, but they are just fine. 12 to go. Brody Falliker, new leader.
There you go, Brody Falliker in that Team FIWB number 1 Camaro. He's got the 333 Jeff Byers right behind him. The 11 of Jimmy Cocker, Riley Rosenbrook. In that 86, gonna find himself P4 So 4 brand new leaders. The 33 had gotten close. We saw the 11 a little bit further back, but the top 2 were last in on lap 39, 40 for Jimmy Cocker, and everybody else 69 or later.
Yeah, these top 4 drivers definitely working with each other, and we have Brash out in chat saying, let's go FIWB, and we have a leader for that. Brody Falliker with Jeff Byers in second, Jimmy Cocker in third, and Riley Rosenbrook, who is in fourth. He's going to be a turn away as he is heading into turn 1 and the leader out in the middle of the backstretch.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty unfortunate for Riley. I mean, he's nowhere near anybody else that has to come on down pit road. So this is absolutely going to hurt him. Brody Falliker, Jeff Byers, Jimmy Cocker, all I believe all 3 of those are teammates. Not quite sure about the 333 of Jeff Byers, but definitely the top 2 of the top 3.
He's 6 is going to be Hunter Johnson. He's got a lot of people working with him. Thomas Harmon is going to be one of them who is out leading that pack. We have Luke Allen in there. I'm kind of curious. I know they know how to draft. They work well together. Will they be able to make up some time? 10 laps to go, guys. I knew that once they went in for their pit stops, it would really shake things up. But once it's all said and done, and we have these leaders go in, I want to see where it falls through.
You know, looking at some of the lap times for the leaders, as Brody Falliker, I thought he actually came down pit road, just kind of blinking out for just a moment. I was waiting to see what their last lap times were. 50-14, 50-13 for first and second, 50-12 for Jimmy Cocker. So these guys, they're not really saving a whole lot. The best laps for these guys in the big packs are 48 seconds. So they're about a second and a half, almost 2 seconds off their fastest times. But that's, again, when you have 35 or 38 cars out riding together.
Jeff Byers giving him a huge push, trying to make it. There's no way. If everyone else has gone in, I'm thinking that they do not have enough fuel. So they will have to make up some spots here. Jimmy Cocker going out, and we have the 31 going out here. So I think we're going to have some pit stops being made this time around.
Yeah, I think teammates kind of orchestrating this one to see where they can go. One kind of checking up the 333 just a little bit. It used to be at Daytona, Talladega, you go high, I'll go low, you go high, I'll go low. That way you kind of stagger out the field a little bit because everybody gets on their brakes at different times. Coming off of turn number 4, going down the front stretch, Jimmy Cocker able to get in front of the number 1 of Brody Falliker going into 1.
Fourth is going to be Riley Rosenbrook, and he is leading this pack. 97 is going to be right behind him. I don't believe that is going to be for position, as I do believe he is a lap down. Matt Burgess will also the same. So Riley Rosenbrook is kind of by himself right here. Yeah, not a lot to gain. He's just being pushed, so hopefully we'll see how that goes for him. Meanwhile, Thomas Harmon, man, a whole backstretch away from fourth. So that is the gap that you're going to see here. And he's being pushed by Hunter Johnson, Andrew Wisdom, Matt O'Brien, and Luke Allen.
Yeah, so once the top 3 go on down pit road, it's going to fall to Riley Rosenbrook. Actually, he's going to go ahead and bring it on down pit road right as well as the 97. Those 2 or 3 cars did pick up one more went in the form of the 55 of Jeff No. But once Jimmy Cocker and Brody Falliker come on down pit road, right along with Jeff Byers, he was last on pit road lap 39. That's going to give it all right back to Tom Harmon. Mr. O, where did he come from?
Not Jimmy Cocker, but we had another driver going in. That was Riley Rosenbrook as he makes his way out, and hopefully is not by himself as he makes his way out. But Jimmy Cocker leading the field, Brody Falliker in second. Coming to 6 laps to go. Super surprised that they have not gone in yet, and Jimmy Cocker's going to take it high. Brody Falliker going to follow him up there as they head to the 9 car, trying to use that draft to get that momentum going.
Yeah, 9 looks like you might have a little bit of damage on the right front. Not quite sure he'd be the car that you want. Then again, it could have just been a little bit of glare. But no, yeah, hey, 5 cars or 6 cars now stronger than 3 or 4.
Kind of curious, was Brody Falliker in danger of running out of fuel, so Jimmy Cocker took over, as obviously when you're in the back of the pack, you are going to save some fuel than when you're out front. I'm curious, Brody Falliker going to have to go in. Ooh, Jeff Byers, a little bit of contact with Matthew Gale. He misses pit road. That's going to send Brody Falliker completely by himself.
Yeah, Brody Falliker, that #1 team FIWB machine, and it looks like one or two more made a little bit of contact with the wall, not able to get down. So Jimmy Cocker and Jeff Byers still out on track, but a whole lot of separation. You might as well call them miles apart. Jimmy Cocker all by himself with that #9. Eliza, this might have been a great thing for him to have picked up that car.
What a change of events right here. Jimmy Cocker, man, he is out there by himself. Jeff Byers going to be behind, so that definitely separated these drivers. Thomas Harmon, you can see how far he is. He's still in the backstretch heading into turn 3. Meanwhile, second is coming into the tri-oval, with first coming out of the tri-oval into turn 1. So huge separation for these guys, but it all depends. Does Jimmy Cocker have to come in, or is he going to stay out, save that fuel, and take home a second super speedway win, this time at Talladega?
Philip Bridgman right now, his best friend. Jimmy Cocker, his last lap was a 49.53, so he's not saving a whole lot at all. We were talking about some running in the 50s, almost 51 earlier. So he's able to draft a little bit with Philip Bridgman. So with coming to 3 to go, nope, Jimmy Cocker's got to bring it down pit road.
He's got to bring it down pit road, and I know he's got to be heartbroken with coming to 3 laps to go, but here we are. He makes his way in, and he's going to be solo. That is what you don't want to happen. Hopefully he can make his way out magically very quickly, but that's a tough break for these groups that started off together and just chaos ensued, and they had to go in separate now.
Well, Tom Harmon bringing Avril Lavigne up to the front. He's got Hunter Johnson right behind. Top flicked off the 51 and others wrecking.
Oh!
What's your car doing, bud?
Oh, huge one right there. Man, oh man. Let's see if we can catch what happened here. We're going to rewind that. Go on board with that 51 car, see if we can't catch it. That's going to be Andrew Wisdom. The 8 tries to go out. He gets a nice push and just chaos everywhere. Pete, this changes everything.
Yes, it does. This took a lot of very, very strong cars out. The 8, Tom Flickerhoff, mentioned that he won 3 of the 4 restrictor plate races last year. Andrew Wisdom, that's been phenomenal this year. A great start to his post championship season. Taking it all in season number 2. The 8, clearly a crowd favorite, but not going to happen this time around. Big saving grace for the 11 of Jimmy Cocker, though.
This is what happens. The aggression kind of picks up, and we see guys going for spots that they're trying to, gain. And we saw it right there. Even with not that many drivers in that group, it was enough that caution came out. Thomas Harmon was most definitely probably not trying to see that happen. But here we are, Hunter Johnson in second. Matthew O'Brien, he's going to be in third in that 43 machine. Luke Allen in fourth. James Holzer in fifth. Jackson Glenn Austin in sixth. Jose Ruiz going to start out in seventh. And Dane Cruz in eighth. Francis Hamilton in ninth. And Jarrett Cardwell going to round out your top 10.
How about that? Old JC running top 10 in his first ever race on the Cup side, that is, for the Shake and Bake iRacing Cup Series. He's been as stable for years over on the open wheel side, and decides he's going to bring it on over to where the fenders cover the wheels. And what a great opening race for him.
James Holzer making his way in, absolutely missing his front end, and magically it came right back as they are repairing that damage. You gotta love how that goes. But yeah, Jarrett, what a great run for him on his SnB debut in the Cup Series. Doing great out there. You know, so much luck goes into this. You got to have the strategy. You obviously have to know how to hold that line, but a lot of it is just a lot of luck. You got to have things go your way. Make sure you are on your toes, staying out of trouble when chaos happens in front of you. And he's found his way up front. We'll see if he can survive it for the next couple of laps till the finish.
Yeah, JCX12, known the guy for years and years and years. Went down to Homestead with him and a couple others to watch Martin Truex Jr. take his championship and watch Dale Jr. close out his career. He's a hell of a guy to hang around with. Very cool, calm, and collected. And tonight, man, he so far made all the right moves at all the right times. Finds himself in the inside the top 10.
All right, Thomas Harmon, it's Eliza. How are you?
I'm all right.
All right. Were you looking forward to that caution coming out, or are you, what I assume, not excited about that one?
That other pack had caught us. I didn't really care at that point. I was kind of glad to see it because this will just be a 2-lap brawl as opposed to fight for our lives with the massive runs with 3 laps to go. But, I mean, it was kind of a pick your poison. Both of them are poison, so...
Well, you got a teammate that's going to be on your outside. I know you're going to have a lot of working with him, hopefully, to do. But what do you think your chances are for a win tonight?
I'm the leader on the green-white checkered, so not good. Just a sitting duck. When you're leading,
there it is.
Unless it comes, if you're leading coming out of 4, you're a sitting duck. That's all there is to it.
I talked about that earlier. Pete asked me where I'd want to be. I said, not first because you're a sitting duck, but third sounds good. So hopefully whoever's behind you will stay there and push you to a win, and we'll see you in the booth after.
Hope so. See you there.
All right, see ya. That was Mr. Thomas Harmon. Yeah, shakes things up. Absolutely. It's going to be a rough restart here. As you know, guys are going to be dive bombing it in for the next position. We'll see if we're going to bring out another caution, Pete. I don't want another caution. I just want to see an exciting finish here. And I think either way, we're going to get that.
Oh, absolutely. With everything all racked and stacked back up, the Hornet's Nest is all together. The 68, the 18, the 43, our points leader. It just goes to show that Matt O'Brien can get it done literally on any track. With the 7, Luke Allen, how about that? Up 10 spots right now, sitting P4. And Jackson Glenn Austin, the guy that's been up front and very aggressive all evening long, making some pretty big and at times pretty bold moves as well. Sitting P5, Jose Ruiz. Started P5, running P6, so right about where he started. It's a pretty stout top 10. I cannot wait to see how this goes, how teammates work together. If teammates, fall apart and it's kind of every man for himself coming to the checkered flag, is going to be a great finish.
Absolutely. It is going to be an amazing finish. Real, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Racer Wreck 3-lap shootout is definitely going to be a thing here. I appreciate that, Real. Hope you're doing well. But man, we are getting ready to go back to green. Thomas Harmon, he's got teammate Hunter Johnson, who races in real life in the truck series. We're going to see him out there. And these two are going to be working together. Matthew O'Brien in 3rd, Luke Allen in 4th. Jackson Glenn Austin out in the top 5 with Jose Ruiz looking on the outside end. And we're getting ready to go back to green, hopefully for the final time tonight. Let's bring home that 3 and 4 wide finish for the win.
Absolutely. 68, just waiting for the green to drop. He knows he's got the 18 to his outside. 43, Matt O'Brien's going to give him one hell of a push. Green flags back out. 21, 43, 68. Hard on the bumpers. Let's go.
Look at how tight they are, but that top side not as tight as they were hoping. Hunter Johnson is saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. Luke Allen trying to make his way up there, but that low side, they have it together. Those 5 cars, 6 cars, now 7. Hunter Johnson is going to squeeze that inside, try to get that momentum on the outside, and they are nose to nose. Hunter Johnson has Thomas Harmon fly out front. Pete, this is getting crazy.
Absolutely. I'm surprised the 68 was able to get on up there, but now both the 68 and the 18 are clear. 7 not yet clear. High side momentum may come into play. Jose Ruiz behind the 7. There is the deuce of Jared Cardwell up on the high side as well. They are 3 or 4 deep up on the high side. 23 is clear.
23 is clear, and we have some movers down to the low side. That's going to be Luke Allen, and we have Jose, Thomas Harmon, Hunter Johnson on the outside, and that is going to be where the momentum is at the moment. And I think until the end of the race, we are on the final lap heading to the backstretch. Thomas Harmon, will he get another win here at a super speedway? We'll see what happens. He does not want to be out in the lead on the final lap, but man, oh man, take a look at this. We have Jarrett Cardwell on the low side, and he's got some takers down there cutting him off. Pete, this is getting crazy.
Yeah, 68 said he did not want to be leading. Right now, he got the checkered flag in view. 18's going to go outside. 23, Jose Ruiz, going to go with him. It's going to be 3 wide at the finish, or will it be 4?
Wow, here we go. Hunter Johnson takes it home. Jose Ruiz gets second. Rivers Jones, where did he come from? He takes home third in that 91 machine. First time in the booth for an interview, and man, missing that front end, and oh, magically it goes back on, but chaos after the finish line. What a finish out here. Hunter Johnson with that win.
Hunter Johnson did not want to be at he was being pushed or pushing people all night long. Makes the move from behind the 68, coming off of the final lap, and able to take it all. Jose Ruiz for Team FTR coming home P2. Great run for him, and then like you said, Rivers Jones in that 91 for his first ever podium. And how about a first ever race for Jarrett Cardwell, P4. Tom Harmon brings it home P5.
Hunter Johnson out here getting ready to celebrate. Man, what a wild race. We saw you so incredibly strong. Let's see those burnouts being done. But take us through how you managed to make your way past teammate and secure that win tonight.
I don't know. Just we played strategy a little bit at the end there. It was kind of on the restart. Do what you got to do. Stay in whatever lane. Once he got cleared, he wanted to get up, so let him up, and then we kind of just never lifted all the way until I made that move and was calling every play-by-play in the mirror. So it was fun. I kind of enjoyed it, actually.
Well, look at this. I know a lot of guys either really like super speedways or they absolutely cannot stand them. Which way on the spectrum are you for that?
Super speedways and short tracks are what I'm best at, so I think I like it a little bit.
Nice. All right, fair enough. But man, what a run. Just working with Holzer, working with teammates. You did a fantastic job making your way out front and staying there, up 16 spots from where you started. So huge congratulations tonight there, Hunter.
Thank you. Man, it was fun. I really enjoyed this race. The package wasn't my favorite, but I guess I'm pretty good at it then.
I would say you're pretty good at it, and you're looking pretty good sitting at that start-finish line in the checkered. So what was your favorite part about the race, as far as, like, did you like it when cars were spread out or when you guys were going 3 and 4 wide?
I say 3 and 4 wide. You really needed numbers if you wanted to get spread out. Like, we had a great pit stop with me, Harmon, Wisdom, O'Brien, and I think it was Luke. We all had a good pit stop, did great, did what we needed to do, and just the numbers of the single file pack caught us, and it was like, okay, well, once I got there, me and Harmon were going to throw blocks either way. Just lucky the caution came out and played in our favor tonight.
Yeah, caution came out and switched it up for you guys, but great job staying out front tonight, and just the aggressive moves paid off to try to push and make your way, make that high side work. It was extremely strong, so great job.
Thank you. Glad to get this Napa car in victory lane for the first time.
Heck yeah. All right, Pete, over to you for Jose.
Jose Ruiz, you started inside the top 5. You're going to finish inside the top 5. Great runner-up position for you. You saw that U.S. Air Force machine throughout the field all evening long, sometimes being pushed, other times being pushed. One hell of a race. Please talk us through it in your vision.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy race. Was at the front with Up front was a little bit fun because we had I think FTR started 1, 3, and 5, so we were trying our best to stay up there, and got a little jumbled around, and I think I took tires. I think that second pit stop, I kind of put myself way back in, I think, like 20th position around there, and kind of worked my way up. Missed a huge wreck that gave us the green white checkered. I was just waiting for somebody to come down and clip me like normal, but I survived, luckily. And kind of from there, I already knew to not make my move to the bottom. I did that in another league a couple weeks ago, and I just dropped like a rock. So
Yeah, unfortunately, I was there for
kind of,
that, wasn't I?
yeah, you were there, so you kind of saw that that did not work out. But like I said, I just decided to stay up top, push Hunter. I was hoping Harmon was gonna side draft Hunter there to the front in the tri-oval, and so I can cut down and maybe pass both of them. But Harmon stayed down there, so I just decided to push Hunter and hopefully get past him. But it was close. I almost spun myself there, going in a 3, but I just made it. So it was awesome to bring home second place. That was fun. Even trying to catch down the first couple cars with, I don't know, less than 10 to go. So yeah, I had fun.
Definitely a great podium finish for you. Next week we go visit Miles the Monster Dover Motor Speedway. How you feeling about that race and your chances for maybe getting one spot better?
So Dover, I love Dover. It's a pretty good track for me. Hopefully we can keep it green, because I feel like I can get the car going and moving up front on the long run. So hopefully we can get out a win, and hopefully we can get another good finish here.
All right, Jose, congratulations again on the podium. Great points night for you. Go ahead and go celebrate Eliza Rivers Jones for his first time in the booth.
How about that, Rivers? What an amazing race for you out here. Take us through your race and how you found your way up here in the front for a podium finish.
Well, it was pretty chaotic. I started the race around 15th, and I kind of stayed there for a little bit. At some point, I fell back, and I lost the draft at one point. And it was just like all over the place. And green flag pit stops happened, and I came out top 6, and I thought I was gonna be able to stay there, but unfortunately, I lost the draft and fell back into that big pack. And at some point, the big pack caught the top 5, and caution came out there, and I restarted 12th, I think, on the last restart. And I was just really, really hoping that we were not going to have another overtime, because I was like really short on fuel. I think I started the restart with like 3 laps of fuel, so I was really cutting it close.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was just trying to save as much as I could, and luckily I had enough to make it to the end. So I restarted 12th, and my strategy with these super speedways at the end, these overtime restarts, is just to go where the momentum's going. And I did that at Daytona. I got a pretty good finish, and I did that here. And I thought I was going to be able to get the win, but I was just came up just a little bit short. And I was really hoping to get that first win, but man, you can't be disappointed with a 3rd place finish.
No, absolutely. You did a phenomenal job out here. Like you said, we noticed you kind of all over the place. And, I wasn't sure if it was more a strategy call to say, stay out of trouble, stay, kind of where you can, that's out of trouble. And then at the end, try to make your way up there, or if it was just circumstance and where you ended up.
Yeah, typically my strategy with these super speedway races, kind of hanging back for the first portion of the race, kind of feel out the field, like how everybody's racing. And we saw that like 3 and 4 wide racing, and I didn't want to really be a part of that. That was awesome to watch, but I knew there was going to be some wrecks, and there ended up being some wrecks, and I'm just lucky I didn't get caught in those, and I was able to make my way up to the front when it mattered most.
Absolutely. You did a great job. I saw you bring it down there to the finish line in 3rd. And I thought you were going to take it for a second. You snuck up there on us. And
Yeah.
man, what a phenomenal job. Really exciting to watch. Great
you.
job out here for the podium. And I'm really hoping to see you in the booth again.
Thank you. I'm really hoping to be in the booth again too.
Heck yeah. What a great race at Talladega, Pete. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Everyone in chat is just saying how great of a race and finish. A lot more aggressive than I was expecting, Pete, and it made for an exciting race all the way through and extremely clean considering 3 and 4 wide. These guys did a phenomenal job. So proud of them. Next week, we head to Dover, Pete. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, Miles the Monster hopefully doesn't have too much of an appetite and you can let these guys be. If not, they call that a self-cleaning track. If you wreck up top, you're going to slide to the bottom. There's really nowhere to go. Once that track gets blocked, Eliza, mayhem can ensue and usually does. I'll see you there.
All right, we'll see you same time, same day, 8 p.m. at 8:17 p.m. Eastern Time next Monday night. Thank you guys for tuning in, for the follows, for the subs. You guys are amazing, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy.